Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's Journey for His Beloved, Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 9. Students' reaction and sealed girl. At the inn, just after Rimuru left, Kaori was still embracing Shizuku, who now has calmed down after seeing Rimuru go back to the abyss. Shizuku, I have a question, Kaori said immediately. Shizuku started feeling embarrassed and turned red. Nothing is going on between me and Rimuru, I swear. He just kissed my forehead, so that's not that weird, right? Shizuku said in a panic. Ha, calm down, that's not what I was gonna ask you, at least not yet. Oh, so what is it then? Shizuku replied, still embarrassed. Back there, whose magic was it that hit Nagumo-kun? Kaori asked with a serious voice. No one knows, actually no one's talking about that, they're all too scared. Why do you ask? Do you hold a grudge? Shizuku asked seriously. I don't know, if I find out who it is I would surely blame them, but if no one knows and no one wants to admit, then there's nothing you could do. Also, another thing, what did Rimuru meant earlier? He said be aware of everyone's thought about me and to make my feelings clear to everyone. What did he mean by that? She asked. About that, do you really want to hear it? Yes, if it's for Nagumo-kun, then yes. Shizuku just gave a sigh before taking a deep breath to explain. Now how do I even begin? Yes, the short version of this is you're extra super dense. Huh? What do you mean by that? Kaori was confused since she has always paid attention to Nagumo and no one else. You do realize how beautiful you are, right? I am not that beautiful, right? Kaori said, making Shizuku sigh in disappointment. You're literally called one of the goddess in school. Know that, you're just over-exaggerating, literally all the boys in school wants to date you. There's no way that's true, right? She was denying it since she doesn't think something like that was possible. Remember back in middle school when a boy said, I like you, please go out with me, and you replied, no thanks, and he left crying. Yeah, it was weird, wasn't his reaction too much? Wait, you're not saying he... Yep, that's right, you rejected him without you even knowing. But that was the only time that happened, right? Then what about when a boy said he wanted to learn more about you and you just replied, yeah, let's be friends, and he fell on his knees? Wait, you're not saying he... Yep, he also liked you. Shizuku then started telling her all the times they confessed to Kaori without her even knowing. Kaori, who is now starting to get embarrassed, covered her ear. Like a child not wanting to hear her parent. Stop it please, it's embarrassing, I don't want to hear any more of it. Even Prince Randall wants you, stoop, I don't want to hear any Marie. Kaori was dumbfounded at herself because she never noticed whenever someone would confess to her. Wait, what does this have to do with Nagumo-kun? Okay, imagine this. All the boys who wanted to date you kept seeing you with Nagumo-kun. To them, Nagumo-kun is just an average lazy otaku guy. Because of this, everyone was jealous of him. Because of this, they would bully him all the time to try and make him stay away from you. But you're the one who keeps coming closer to him, making his school like hell. Kaori, finally realizing that her actions was causing Nagumo to get bullied, started getting sorrowful and at the same time, angry. Angry at the people who was so desperate to be with her, they would do bad things. Kondo and Hayama would constantly beat up Nagumo behind your back, they would always bully him to try and diminish his image in you. No way, that can't be. Kaori was frozen as she finally realized why they always targeted Nagumo. Rimuru would always come and save Nagumo from the bullies, but because of this, whenever Rimuru's not around, they would badly beat him up. And so by Nagumo's request he stopped interfering. Why? Why didn't you tell me this sooner? Because there's nothing you could do. If you try and defend him, then like Rimuru, whenever you're not around, they would make it worse for him. Tears started flowing out of her eyes as she realized what consequences Nagumo had to pay for because of her own actions. But another realization came. Wait, could it be possible that one of the bullies purposely fired that attack towards Nagumo? Kaori asked. It could be, and I think that's the reason Rimuru punched Hayama that day without saying anything. I won't forgive them, Kaori said in an angry expression. I've decided. I am gonna keep training until I am strong enough to protect Nagumo, Kaori said with a determined voice. From this day on, Kaori determined herself and started training very hard to get stronger and more useful. Also, whenever Hayama or his group would get wounded or injured, Kaori would purposely avoid them while casting hate glances towards them. Is it me, or is Kaori giving me a death glare? Ha ha ha, just my imagination. No way the kind Kaori would be doing something like that, the groups thought. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. Damn it, there's nothing here, Hajime said in an annoyed tone. It's been 3 days since he had killed the bear and he still hasn't found an exit for the floor. He had already searched about 80% of the level, and after he had eaten the bear his status went up again. Because of this, no monster can challenge him now. In short, he is now the apex predator. So far the only thing Hajime has found was stairs that led downwards into the higher number floor. A floor should always have a stair that led up towards the surface, but this one did not have one, it seemed. He couldn't use his transmute to make a road up as well because this Orcus dungeon was built with ancient magic. Means there's a secret magic not allowing him to use transmute for certain walls. That is why he was looking for a way up, but he had to make a decision if he did not find it, to venture further down this dungeon or not. After walking for another day he found another way, but was also a dead end. Tisk, another dead end, huh? I wonder why there's no stairs going up. At this point my only option is to keep going down. Hajime decided to stop looking for a way up and breathed out a deep sigh at that decision. He proceeded to advance towards the room that contained the stairs leading deeper into the dungeon. Strangely, as Hajime went down it kept getting darker until there was no more light. The level was very dark. Although that was expected for an underground dungeon. This was still weird because all the other floors had green crystal to at least provide light, though it was dim it was still light. In the end he decided to take out his green stone lamp from his improvised back, that was connected to a wire made out of the bear's fur. Hajime knew it was suicidal to have a light in this darkness if a monster was attracted to it. But he also knew he couldn't progress if there was no light. Hajime did not want to occupy his only hand to hold this lamp, so he fastened it to his left elbow. As he continued to keep walking he noticed something glowing which made him raise his guard to maximum. After going for a while Hajime felt his instinct going off from the left, so he pointed his lamp towards that side. When he did he saw a grey liard approximately 2 meters in length was sticking on the wall, glaring at Hajime with golden eyes. The lizard's golden eyes then started to glow, and at that moment, he realized his arm was starting to get petrified, though it was slow, but the lamp he was carrying has been fully petrified and shattered, meaning the room was now filled with darkness. Hajime clicked his tongue while he took out some sacred water from his chest holster, which was made from demon fur and wire. As expected, the petrification halted and eventually his left arm returned to normal. This damn lizard has sure done it now, Hajime cursed internally while throwing a flashbang. Hajime quickly left the area as the flashbang rolled towards the lizard. Hajime closed his eyes while he took out Donner and brandished it. Bang! The surrounding was bathed in intense light as the flash grenade went off. Kuu! The lizard has lived in the darkness, which means it evolved and adapted to the dark. The flashbang that's lighting the whole place up confused the lizard, as this was the first time the lizard has seen that much light. The figure of that confused basilisk emerged from the darkness, and Hajime, seeing this, took the chance to aim at the lizard and shot. Hajime's bullet found its way straight to the basilisk's skull. Brain matter splashed against the wall as the head was blown to pieces. Hajime approached the basilisk while he stayed vigilant to his surroundings. Promptly he cleaved the meat off of the corpse and left the area. He did not feel safe eating in an area with so little visibility. He had searched for many hours, but he could not find the stairs. A lot of ores were collected and demons killed during this time. Since it was so inconvenient to carry all this, he made a base for himself. Hajime placed the God's crystal on the wall to catch all the dripping water. Hajime had started to call the crystal Potion Stone, and the sacred water as Potion. It really was like the game's equivalent, but its effects were much stronger. Welp, I am hungry, so let's eat, he said to himself. Hajime retrieved the meat out of his backpack. He used his lightning powers to cook them. Today's menu was the basilisk meat, an owl that could fire its feathers like a shotgun, and a six-legged cat. No seasoning. After a moment of eating, pain started to appear in his body. He was being strengthened again. This means the monster he had killed was stronger than the bear. While drinking his potion, he continued to eat while ignoring the pain until eventually he finished. Now then, what's my status now? He said while pulling out his status plate. Name: Nagumo Hajime. Age: 17 years old. Gender: male. Level: 23. Class: Transmutation Artist, Synergist. Strength: 450. Vitality: 550. Resistance: 350. Agility: 550. Magic: 500. Magic resistance: 500. Skills: Transmutation, Mineral Appraisal, Precision Transmutation, Mineral Enquiry, Mineral Separation, Mineral Fusion, Magic Manipulation, Iron Stomach, Lightning Clad, Divine Step, Air Walk, Flicker, Air Claws, Night Vision, Perception, Petrification Resistance, Language Comprehension. As expected, his stats went up again. He had also attained 3 new skills. That was when he noticed that he could see the surrounding more clearly. This seemed to be the attribute of night vision, and like the rest, it was all passive skills. He was disappointed to learn the one he got from the lizard was petrification resistance. He was disappointed he missed out on such a cool skill. After this, he had advanced 50 levels deeper. Because Hajime did not have a sense of time there, he did not know how much time had passed. But the progress he was making was being done in an astonishing speed. During that time, he was in a desperate struggle. Countless times he had encountered stronger monsters and battled for his life. But this also meant he was getting even stronger as he eats the monsters. His current stats are: Name: Nagumo Hajime. Age: 17 years old. Gender: male. Level: 49. Class: Transmutation Artist, Synergist. Strength: 880. Vitality: 970. Resistance: 860. Agility: 1040. Magic: 760. Magic resistance: 760. Sorry, I am too lazy to write the skills. As Hajime progressed, he saw a double door 3 meters in height. On the side of the doors was 2 one-eyed giant statues. It looked as if they were petrified. He tried to pull and push the door to no avail. As usual, he tried to force a way in with his transmuting. Hajime put his right hand on the door and started to transmute, but at that moment, crackle. Immediately he stepped back only to see the 2 giants' petrification disappearing. Well, that's the most cliché thing I've seen so far. He mutters as he gets ready and take Donner out of his holster. The one-eyed giant looked exactly like a fantasy cyclops. A 4 meters large sword appeared in its hands. The cyclops looked at Hajime while trying to free its buried lower body to eliminate the intruder. Hajime, seeing this, just shot Donner straight to the cyclops' eye, instantly killing it. The left cyclops blankly stared at what happened to the dead cyclops. Sorry, I am not the type of guy to wait around to see what will happen, Hajime said. He then shot the other cyclops, but the cyclops managed to defend using its arm and defensive magic. Defensive magic, huh? Sorry, but I already know its weakness, Hajime said as he kept on attacking. Without stop he attacked, spending hundreds of bullets, but eventually the magical barrier set by the cyclops broke. Hajime, seeing the exposed cyclops, shot it directly in the eye. He started to harvest the cyclops meat when suddenly he saw something shining. Ah, so this is where the key was hidden. Actually pretty smart, Hajime said while looking at a red shining orb that perfectly fit into the holes on the door. Well, in that case, door first, eat later. He then placed the 2 magic orbs in the door. Instantly, red magic sprouted from the stone and poured into the magic square. The light settled after a moment and an opening sound could be heard. 2 columns of pillars lined up all the way into the depths. The room was made from finely crafted marbles, and it looked similar to the church room they were first summoned into. In the center of the room was a huge cube of stone that reflected the incoming light and lustered. Hajime was staring at the cube when he noticed that something was moving in the front center of the cube. Suddenly a voice could be heard. Who? A husky voice belonging to a frail girl. Hajime stared at the center of the room in surprise. You're a human, he muttered. Only the face could be seen, every other part was buried in the cube. Long blonde hair hung down around the woman, like a ghost from a certain horror film. Pupils of red was peeping from the gaps of hair, just like a low-altitude moon. From her looks she seemed to be 12 to 13 years old. The dangled hair looked haggard, but it still had a beautiful appearance. No, you're not human,